Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome to yet another double unboxing. I may have been on holiday recently, but that hasn't stopped me buying watches, and indeed I bought these two while I was in the UK. I'm always sniffing around for deals, and I found a pair of deals that I just couldn't refuse. Now in some ways the watches are quite similar, but in other ways they are very different. They are both big brand Japanese chronos, one by Citizen, one by Seiko. They're both great value for money, but they look nothing like each other, and one costs exactly twice the price of the other. So that is the question today, I guess. What do you get for double the money, and is one actually worth twice the price of the other? Let's flip the camera and find out. Okay, so two Japanese big brand chronographs then, one by Citizen, the other by, you guessed it, Seiko. One costing exactly twice what the other one cost. The Citizen was the more economically viable watch. The Seiko, still pretty economically viable, but still cost twice what the Citizen cost. Now, this is not a Seiko bash. This is not an, oh my god, Seiko are a rip-off. I just thought it would be interesting to see what you get relative to what you spend, because they did cost me exactly half or double depending on your perspective. So I'm going to start with the Citizen first as the cheaper watch. That makes sense to me before moving on to the Seiko. Though I should say the Citizen normally costs $250. I got it for $150. The Seiko, the normal online retailer price in Australia, is $399. I got it for $299. So I got $100 off each. But I got $100 off the Citizen, which was the cheaper watch in the first place, so I kind of proportionally got a better deal on the Citizen. Let's get into the bubble wrap. That wasn't that hard, and let's get into the box. Now, I've done a bit of a 180 on Citizen. I used to call them vanilla and boring, and they still are to an extent, but they are so super sensible, especially when you get a 5-year authorised dealer warranty on a Citizen costing 150 Australian dollars. That is a bit of a bargain and no mistake. Now, I'm not sure how many of us intend to keep and run our watches for 5 years, but if you are a one watch guy or girl, or certainly a limited number of watches guy or girl, then it is not to be sniffed at. And what did I get? I got this, whoops, excuse me, I got this cute little military chronograph. Now, one of the reasons I got it was because it was so economically priced. Another reason is because I've got a head-to-head comparison in mind for this one. Yes, perhaps you guessed it, I'm going to do a head-to-head in a few weeks' time between this Citizen and this San Martin / Baltony. I've actually got both the San Martin and the Baltony versions in the house at the moment to see what you get and what you don't get when you go big brand and when you go effectively Chinese AliExpress brand with either of those two options. I can already see some things that you do get with a Citizen that you don't get with a San Martin, and vice versa. But that, my friends, is another video. Let's focus on the Citizen today. Specifically the Citizen AT0200-05E, featuring a caliber H500, of course, in-house Citizen caliber and Eco Drive, as you can see there. Again, I've kind of done a 180 on these. I'm now a big fan of the Eco Drive movements. They're just so sensible, particularly if you do have a big collection. They never need set, they never need wound, they just carry on ticking, requiring a little bit of UV light from your studio lights, in my case, from the sun, from your overhead lights, whatever. They will just run for months. Looks like a pretty poor sticker count today, I'm afraid, folks. No dial protector. We do have one in the case back, though. Hey, any sticker is a good sticker when you're peeling it off for the first time. Assembled in Thailand, by the way. Just because it has a Japanese brand name on the dial doesn't mean to say it was made in Japan. You probably should bear that in mind. There we are, Citizen Eco Drive. Always a pleasure to see that on a case back. In terms of dimensions, my calipers measure it at 39.4 across the diagonal, a mere 10.5mm thick though, because it has a quartz Eco Drive module, 46.4mm lug to lug. Thankfully, Citizen, who have a reputation for going weird, have gone sensible. 20mm between the lugs, weighing in at a mere 59 grams as supplied. 100 meters of water resistance as advertised on the dial from a push-pull crown only. Flat mineral crystal covering the dial, and as discussed, an Eco Drive H500 module. Case finish is very simple, fine horizontal brush on the mid case and the upper lug surfaces, circular brush there, and a high polish fixed bezel. It's a 3-piece construction with a screw on case back. Now that module, the H500, is a single tick chronograph, not a particularly firm top pusher at all. There's kind of very little response when you press that one in. I'll stop it again. The reset, however, is much more direct, but yeah, that is a little bit limp. 60-minute chrono timer, the first register up there at the 10, that is a 24-hour register at the 1:30, very much in keeping with the military style of the watch, and a permanently ticking small second register down there at the 6. Date position, 3 register, try compacts layout, they've got to squeeze the date in somewhere and they've done it at the 4. It's a bit awkward though, isn't it? Look at how those two fonts kind of clash in terms of angles. But yeah, if you're going to have a date, that's really the only place to put it on this style of chrono. The band's alright though, considering the price I paid for the watch. Drab green canvas and calf style with leather backing. Look at those. Now, I've seen reinforced holes before, and then I've seen these. Those look awesome, and no chance of them fraying with time because they've got a bit of metal stuck in them. Now that looks kind of bead blasted, kind of coated finish there, unlike the raw finish on the head of the watch and the raw finish on the buckle and tang, but I'm not really going to complain, am I? Again, band made in China. Once more, don't expect your Japanese watch to be made in Japan. That's it on wrist. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. That is a nice size actually, just sub 40, but because there's minimal bezel, there's no angled rehaut, there's quite a lot of dial space, it is pretty legible. There is some lume on the hands, and maybe on those numerals I will come back with a lume shot in the full review or the comparison, depending on which way I go. That is stiff though, but like I said, that's going nowhere. This is your kind of strap for life, so it's an economically viable watch, it's an affordable watch, but you're not going to have to dump the strap and spend money on something else because the supplied one is excellent. And legibility is so important on this style of watch, and the legibility of this particular one is excellent as well, I think. Yeah, pretty impressive. It doesn't feel all that solid. You may have... Yeah, can be a problem with cheaper quartz watches. They can sound a bit tinny. This one definitely sounds a bit tinny. Maybe a bit of sapphire there rather than mineral would have helped. But hey, big brand, 150 Aussie dollars delivered with a 5-year warranty. I can't complain, can I? Even though I usually do. So that was a 150 Aussie dollar big brand Japanese chrono. This is a 299 Aussie dollar big brand Japanese chrono. I have been eyeing up this particular line of Seiko watches in the high street, shopping mall, jeweler, that type of retailer for ages. They're often on special, but I hadn't seen them on this much of a special, which is why I jumped at this one. Standard Seiko packaging, and because I got this one from an authorized dealer, I should be getting a 3-year warranty with it. Not quite as good as the Citizen warranty, but hey, 3 years on an affordable watch is still pretty good. This one looks like it has been checked by the supplier as well. And yeah, like I said, similar in philosophy, but quite different in reality. Look at that one. It is a titanium chrono by Seiko with a rubber band on it. I think that one looks pretty hot. That one being an SSB 393P1. Couple of specs here for us: 100 meters water resistance and hard Lex crystal. So 300 Aussie, but you're not getting sapphire. They haven't gone for a mad dome on this though. Definitely kind of single dome, but not too pronounced, so you do get a bit of distortion. But yeah, look at that. That is why I've been eyeing these ones up for months. Now, I'm sure you can already see, I can both see and feel a huge leap in quality between those two watches. Yeah, I don't feel ripped off paying twice as much for the Seiko. In fact, perhaps it's the Citizen that feels like a bit of a rip-off on first impression anyway. Look at that lovely carbon fibre dial, faceted hands, nice shape to those as well. 3 recessed indices, a proper colour match date wheel, and oh yeah, that is a satisfying pusher. That has a distinct action. Very, very nice indeed. It is a little larger, the Seiko, not that that has any bearing in the price really. This one is 41.4 mil in diameter, a substantial 14.1 mil thick. That is dive watch thick. wearable but lengthy, 48.3 lug to lug, drilled lugs though, you know, another nice touch, 20mm between the lugs, despite the fact that this one is made of a lighter material than the Citizen, titanium rather than stainless steel. It is a bit heavier, it weighs in at 67 grams, still not what I would describe as heavy. 100 meters of water resistance, again from a push-pull crown. That is a piece of mildly domed Hardlex mineral crystal, and the movement in the back of this one is an 8T67 by Seiko. Can't see it, probably wouldn't want to see it anyway. Screw-on stainless steel case back, so titanium case, coated, but a screw-on stainless steel case back, and once again Japanese brand, but not manufactured in Japan, not for that price anyway. So this 8T67 is not a solar movement though, so that's 1 point back for the EcoDrive Citizen. It is battery powered, it will require a fresh battery every 3 years. However, it looks kind of Mecha Quartz-ish. That seems to be a 5-ticker chronograph hand. It's a 12-hour chrono as well, so we've got a 60-minute chrono timer at the 12 and a 12-hour chrono register at the 3 o'clock with a permanently ticking small second register down there at the 6, and a much neater integration of a date complication. I think because there aren't any other Arabic numerals on the dial, that certainly is a factor. And yet plenty of depth, plenty of texture. That is a spectacular looking dial from certain angles, although being a Seiko, does everything line up as it should? Have a look at 12 there. That is a little bit skew-whiff to the left. Not major, but yeah, they just can't seem to get their dials to line up on any watch at any price. I feel reasonably lucky that this one isn't worse than it actually is. One thing that does fall on the altar of style though is legibility. You do have lume on the two hands there, the two main hands, and there's a little lume pip. Again, this one will be coming back again for a full review, but you are sacrificing a little bit of legibility for that super stealthy black look today. The lack of legibility, not really a complaint today though. I bought this one knowing that it wasn't all that legible. Hey, the Casio, if you remember, it was the stealthy one that you could hardly see the time on it. That has always been the biggest seller, so people do like this style of watch. You can just about make out that chrono hand ticking away there. It's just about to pass the index at 6. Nice silicone rubber strap on this one. Nice piece of hardware as well. Single retainer. That's the overhead shot. You can see those two main hands. You can see the Seiko logo, the applied silver Seiko logo glinting away there, and you can see the white printing on the date wheel, but none of those other markers are particularly distinct. You would really need to have a good close look at it if you were using the chrono, but like I said, I bought this one knowing that, and it's really rather attractive for it. So to answer the question that I asked in the intro, do you get twice the watch for twice the money with these two? Yeah, I think you do. The Citizen feels a little bit toy-like and a little bit tinny by comparison to the Seiko, which has so many more nicer touches. It feels like a quality item in the way that the Citizen doesn't really feel all that high quality. Look, great deal, $150, 5-year warranty, set and forget, it'll tick away forever. But yeah, if I was to choose one of these to run long term, it would be this Seiko for sure, despite the price increase. This one will appear again in a single review. This one will appear again in a head-to-head comparison. I think that'll do for today. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If your credit card is maxed out and you still want the vicarious thrill of seeing me peel off some stickers, click here or click here. I'll see you again in the next one.